Happy Friday. It's not my usual Wednesday. For 12 days, I am attempting to come live daily to do our 12 days of Christmas Advent calendar crafting. Um, I did have to do a recording one day. I had surgery on Monday, so my foot is a little sore. I'm trying to plan with while I'm in bed and then just come on quickly to do the live. So if you're watching, I so appreciate you watching. Um, it's a big effort for me to come on, so I appreciate it when people come and watch. Let me just try and pull up the live here so I can see comments. If you're watching, let me know that you're watching. Say hi. I'd love to hear from you. If you're watching the replay, let me know that you're watching the replay. I don't know. My thing has gone like really small for some reason. Anyways, hopefully it'll show up if you comment. I will try and it's very you know how I don't know if yours does this, but sometimes when I go onto YouTube, it's either a really dark screen with light or it's really light with really light. Like it's just hard to see. Anyways, that's neither here nor there. So this is our brand new advent calendar this year. We've never had one before, so I had to play along. I've been wishing for one for years. I thought about making them and offering them, but it's so hard to make it affordable and to be able to send it, especially in Canada. The mail is expensive to mail. Anyways, I'm happy that they're making one, and I hope you've got one and you're crafting along with me. If you haven't got one, they are still available. They're in the last chance items. I don't know even if you express ship it, if you would get it on time, just because we've had all those sales going on. And by the way, the Paper Pumpkin subscriptions are on sale right now for Cyber Monday. I think it ends tomorrow. I can't remember. It ends soon. So if you are a Paper Pumpkin person, it's a really good deal. So go on there and check it out. Anyways, we are on day 5. Let me make sure that you can see it. Ready? If you don't want to see, you haven't opened yours yet, then turn away. Ooh, okay. I can't pretend that I haven't seen this because obviously I prepped. But when I did open it up to see it, I was like, ooh, this is interesting. I actually had purchased another company's small brushes because I was wishing for small brushes. And so I'm hoping that this means maybe that Stampin' Up! Is coming out with some little brushes. We'll see. This is exclusive to the Advent calendar. So if you don't have the Advent calendar, um, these products aren't available for purchase, like the beautiful gold gems, the beautiful designer series paper, and now these stencils that match. I mean, they match, but they don't, they coordinate. Because I don't think that they are not the same shape, the flowers and the stencils, as the stamp set and dies. But who knows? Maybe there'll be dies for these in another day. I do not know. I have not opened all my windows. I try to open it up the day before so that I can start thinking about what I'm going to do the next day. I probably would have pre-planned even more, but those of you who follow me know I was away for a couple weeks in Spain. My son was competing, and then yeah, it's been a crazy month. I decided what the heck I'm going to go. I have a lot of health stuff going on, so I haven't done a whole lot, and I'm just like, screw it, I'm gonna do it. But I did have the surgery booked in. So, anyways, it's keeping me behind. All right, let me so there's 4 stencils, masks. I think we call them masks. I always call them stencils. I don't know why. So they're etched with numbers. So there's a 1, a 2, a 3, and a 4. Sorry, mine are wet. That's why they're sticking together. I just rinsed them. Um, so there's 2 for the flowers that layer, and then there's 2 for the leaves and stems. Now, the bonus with having this little brush is you can do just one of the flowers instead of all four. I'm going to do just one for my card, but I wanted to show you, I did put these four stencils down on a white piece of paper, and I just did it as is. I left my paper and I marked where, so with these little notches, you can mark where you put your stencils, and then you just have to put each one in that same notch, and it just layers really nicely. Especially these ones don't, um, there's no like this is kind of off. So if you don't really know where to put it, it's, I mean, you could pretty much put it wherever you wanted, but it's easier if you notch it out. So this is what it looks like if you do all four, which is pretty. I just stuck, I'm into the blue and white theme, which is part of the designer series paper. So I stuck with that. I did the Misty Moonlight and Secret Sea. But of course, the nice thing with this small brush is you can, I mean, it's unfortunate we only have one, so you kind of have to rinse it or really wipe it well in between and do your lighter colors first to your darker colors. Right now I've got Secret Sea on here, so that's gonna stay Secret Sea for now. Um, yeah, so you can easily do just one flower. Now, another way to do just one flower when you've got something like this, I will show you. I wanted to put a flower on one of these. I was curious to know if it would fit on these labels that we got yesterday. I think these were yesterday's window. And there's two of these, so I've already used one, but we're going to take the other one here. And it just so happens that this flower here fits very nicely, but you can see this flower is a little bit in the way. So you can use a little tiny brush like this to have control, or you can take some sticky notes and just cover it up so that you don't have that issue. Now, you could stick this down with tape. I have learned and I have purchased some, and I hope Stampin' Up! Comes out with some. But these grip mats, this is a waffle flower grip mat. There's many brands. You can get them on Amazon. I would love to tell you to buy Stampin' Ups, but they don't have them. All right, so then this is going to hold my piece down, and that way I don't have to tape it. And then I'm going to put my flower in the corner here like so. And then that sticks down as well. But before I start going, I want to take my stem, and I'm not going to match it up per se. I don't think, oh, maybe I can. Yeah, the way that is, I can. So I kind of need to make a mark as to where I want to put this. I'm going to take just a marker. Now, since my notch is off the line here, I'm going to just mark. Of course, it's green on green. That wasn't very smart, but I've got my corners, and then I can just wipe it afterwards, and that way I know where to put my stencil. Okay, so I'm going to come in with my blue brush here, and I'm going to use Misty Moonlight for this one. Now, I find the best control is to, if you don't have the glass mat, you can use one of the glass blocks, or you can use a silicone mat. But I like to pick up my ink from something else, because then you can really swirl it in there and it's not gonna blotch as much on you, and you have more control. And then you can just come in, and this one is the first one. So usually the first mask is the lighter one. So I'm just going to go lightly with this one. And then I will take stencil number 2, and we're going to be lining it up like that. Oops. Okay, and then I need to find my marks here. And then that looks good to me. And then again, if I want to cover that up, I'll just take my sticky note again and cover that. And then I'm going to come in with the same Misty Moonlight, but I'm going to go a little bit darker this time. And if I go off onto the grip mat, that's no big deal. I can just wipe it. I'm not hitting any of my label. Okay, so I've got my flower done here. Then I'm going to come in, so this one with the stems is number 4, but because like this is going to be in, I mean, I did mark it so it would work, but I'm going to do number 4 first. So make sure I do in fact want it where it's landing. And I do, so we'll just put that like that. So it is in the marks. So I could have just come in and done that. Now I'm going to, so there's this piece here that I don't want. And then there's these little pieces here that I don't want to get color in. So we'll just cover those up like so. And then I decided I was going to do yellow in my center, and crushed curry is kind of the go-to, but since there's no crushed curry blend, I'm going to use Daffodil Delight. And I did use the crushed curry marker at first. Oh, I just ordered, you know what, that's just going to spread on me. So maybe I will use the marker. I thought maybe it would spread better, but we're just going to use the marker here. I could use another brush, which would probably be the better way to do it. But anyways, I just used the marker, and then I'm going to come in. So I'm done with the Misty Moonlight. Just going to get rid of that. And I'm going to take out the Secret Sea. I hope if you're watching, give me a hello. I just want to see if the chat is working because it's very hard for me to see, and I'm hoping I'm not missing anything. I apologize if you are in there. So now I found this brush is quite soft. So in order to get control, you kind of have to use your fingers on the brush and then come in and brush it. Now I'm gonna, since this is the 4th stencil, this is supposed to be the dark version of this. So I'm gonna try and put more ink than I do when it's my first stencil. Now, I did on my first go around, I did find that the brush bristles got under the mask. And I don't know if it's because it is so soft and small. We'll see if it does it again, or if I just was being silly. I don't know. Okay, let's see if it does it again. Grip mat is almost too grippy. Okay, so it did it a little bit, but not as much. So you just have to be careful with this brush because the bristles are so small and delicate, they can get under the and then I'm just lining up my leaves here. And again, I've got some pieces of label showing that I don't want to have colored. So we will just come in, oops, cover it up. And then I will come in with my brush again. But this time I want it to be softer than what I've already put down. So rather than holding it stiff, I'm just going to come over it like I would with the other brush and do a regular brushing. and you can see it's nice and soft. So you can, like, it does give it a, I think because the bristles are softer, it is a softer look. So it's good for kind of getting that softer color. Beautiful. So now I've got my single flower. I didn't have to cut it out. It fits perfectly on this little label. Let me clean this up before I drop my flower into it. Okay, so I've got my label. Then I have pre-cut some items. So I have, you know what, I'm gonna, hold please, I'm gonna clean this up because I know myself, and I'm gonna stick my white and get it all blue. Oh, the craft room is a mess because I cannot walk. I walk better with crutches, but when you have crutches, you can't carry things and move things. It's a real pain in the butt. I hope that healing is fast. I can start moving again. All right. Okay. Woo. So that's clean now. We've got our thick, oh, it's all wet now. And I'm nervous to use this because I've been using it to clean the board. Let's just try this up. Still wet. Let's just let that dry a little bit. Okay. On my hands. Don't you hate it when you have ink on your hands and then you just get that mark on your fresh cardstock, especially the white? I am I could not find one of the stencils, one of the masks forever when I was trying to clean them up. And now my bone folder is in the wind. This is what happens when my desk is covered. Okay, well, we won't be using the bone folder. Usually it pops up. Okay, then I've cut myself some pieces of Secret Sea, Misty Moonlight, and then this is a piece of the designer series paper that was from day 2, I think. Yeah, the big one, day 2. Beautiful designer series paper. I love it. And then I'm just gonna put this down. All right. If you have the advent calendar, are you opening it daily and crafting with it, or are you just collecting the items? I'm interested to know how people use their advent calendars. It's kind of like the chocolate calendars. Some people eat one every day. I think, I don't know if I'm remembering right, but I feel like my sister used to collect them and she would have them all. I don't know if she'd eat them all at then. I don't even know when she ate them, but I just feel like I always ate mine and then she would still have hers. She was good. She had self-control. I was like, nope, I'm eating mine. Okay. I could be remembering that wrong. It could be somebody else that did that. But I do know I knew somebody who did not eat their chocolates daily. They just kind of collected them. I think one of my kids, the kids definitely. I did a like a little, you know, the little alcohol bottles. So when my oldest, I don't know if he was at university. So one Christmas I made him the little alcohol calendar, and I think he was so done with drinking by that he was away for university, came home. He left them all behind, and I think, oh, I forgot to do something. I think his younger brothers who were not of age ended up drinking them because it was more of a treat than for him. So I haven't done that again. That was a waste. Anyways, all right. So I wanted just the thanks, and I am going to emboss it in white, I think. So this is when you want to only do one word. This is how I do it. It's not the only way to do it. Got my white powder here and my Versamark. So when you're putting the Versamark on, shh, Aspen, I'm getting it all over. Sorry, the garage door open, so she's barking. All over the paper. So you don't want to keep the paper on, or it'll make a big blob. And of course, I forgot to use my powder here so it doesn't stick to everything. And then I think I want it right about here. So I'm just gonna stick that down. Okay. And then hopefully it won't stick to everything. But I forgot. All right. Heat up that heat tool. So I'm getting quite the collection. So this is day 5. So this is my 5th card. But I've got 2. This will be my 2nd thank you card. I have a birthday card from yesterday. No, not from yesterday, the day before. Yesterday, I could use it as a birthday card because it's just to someone special. So there's lots of it's a versatile advent calendar. You can really make a lot. And if you don't have a die cutting machine, but you bought the calendar, you can use the dies as stencils. I do know somebody who has cut out ties with a rolling pin and probably like a foam mat or silicone, something to have some give. So it is doable. I wouldn't recommend it per se. I've never done it. I don't know the best way to do it, but the dies can be used in creative ways, even if you don't have the die cutting machine. Anyways, so there we go. We just have the nice stenciled masked flower along with the pretty designer series paper and the thanks embossed in white. And we've got our pretty little flower. So if you haven't seen my other days of crafting, let's see if I can pull them all out here. So this was today. Yesterday's was this one with the fun fold. And the day before, I think, was the birthday card. And then miss you. And then a more Christmassy thanks. So if I go somewhere at Christmas, I have a hostess thanks card that's Christmassy. All right, so that's day 5. We're almost halfway through. Tomorrow will be day 6, and then that'll be halfway through our 12 days. But hopefully you're enjoying this and you have a great rest of your day. And we'll see you guys tomorrow. Bye.